Hey everybody, it's Bruno on MB, where everything can't all be serious, and I'm here with my really good friend. We are friends, Brenda Banda Johnson, and we're at
Art at the Landing.
Art at the Landing, and with Brenda Banda Johnson, Fine Art. Holy moly, how did we get here?
How did we get here?
So I will confess that I've known Brenda a long time, and it's just absolutely amazing what you've done here. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
So Brenda, how long have you been doing this fine arts business?
I have been painting for about 10 years. I was in business before that, and this is something that I started as a hobby. And then it turned into this. I started selling and just loved it, enjoyed it. It was something I started doing when I went out of business and stayed home with my kids. And it took off, and today here we're standing in a pop-up gallery that I launched with a few friends.
Just to be clear, you didn't go out of business.
I didn't go out of business.
You kind of went
like under or anything like that.
No, because I mean, we were going to touch on a couple of things, because we always touch on the personal aspect a little bit, and report all this tape to the FBI and the CSIS guys.
Okay, perfect.
But realistically, we were talking about why you should consider original art. So first and foremost, everything that you do, especially in this gallery, everything that you do is original.
Yes, yeah, I don't do any prints of any sort. And yes, it's all original art. They're one-of-a-kind pieces. And as far as reasons to purchase a one-of-a-kind piece, I mean, it's just a fantastic way to inject color and creativity into a space, as well as quality. Because there's such a difference between original art and prints. You can totally tell the difference, and there's an entirely different feel about it.
So let's talk about original art versus prints. I'm not here, and I'm sure you're not here to say one's better than the other.
Not at all.
But for those who kind of don't know, really quickly, what's the difference?
Well, the original is the original on which a print would be based. It'd be a photograph of a print, and reprints of that would be made, and there would be multiples of whatever piece that is. The original is the one and only piece that was done from scratch. The paint is there, the canvas is there, it's all, and you're not going to get another one like it anywhere.
Mm-hmm. And you know what, you kind of educated me on this, and I'm not an art connoisseur or anything like this.
Yeah.
But, well, compared to you guys, but it's also like, if you were going to printicize this, is that the word? That's a new word. But I mean, that's not even a cheap process either. So if somebody kind of goes, well, you sold this one, can you give me another one? That's not cheap.
No.
And why don't you walk through, because a lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that. So.
I have done one print and went through that exercise and discovered that the cost of doing that print was 50% of the price of the original painting.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, I said, are you sure you don't want to do a payment plan or something like that? Because you don't have the original, right? And there could be multiple prints that come out afterwards or whatever, and so you're paying a lot of money to have something that is reproduced, as opposed to buying the original piece and having the only one like it. And it's entirely different when you stand in front of a piece of artwork that is original, and you can see the texture and the depth of the colors and the brush strokes. You can see the workmanship far more than you can on a print, which is it's flat surface, right? And a lot of what I do is highly textured. And so you lose a lot in a print.
So, here's something that maybe you should tell our audience, your audience, is that how do you walk somebody through to get an original piece for them? Like, what are some of the things they need to consider? Okay,
well, first and foremost, where's it gonna go? How big of a painting do you need? And what sort of feel are you looking for? Because putting the wrong piece of artwork in a space can totally change the mood. Like if you pick something that's super bright and bold and energetic, and it's in your bedroom and you want it to feel like a spa, you're not gonna get that effect, right? So you have to think about those what sort of mood are you trying to create with it, for starters. And then, like I said, size. Size is huge. One of the biggest mistakes people make is going too small, and that's often a cost consideration, that they'll tend to go smaller than larger. But if a painting is too small, it can end up just being sort of lost on a wall, and you lose the impact of it. So that's important. There's a lot of schools of thought on choosing art for a space, and whether you just pick a piece because you absolutely love it, or you pick a piece because it goes with your couch or whatever the decor is. And I'm kind of on the fence between those two. I like to say that it should do all of that, because you want it to look good in the room. You want to pull the room together and say something about you and your interests maybe, or whatever, but you want the piece to show well. And if it's in the wrong spot, it doesn't. Really, you can lose a lot of effect.
Yeah, because art makes the room.
It does.
Right?
Yeah.
And it also, you can do the opposite. I'm assuming, where you can pick the painting and pick all your furniture around it.
You can do that.
Yeah.
So, or you just keep looking till you find the right one that goes with what you've got, that's got the feel that you like. And I mean, you have to love it. That's the thing, is because original art is an investment. It's not cheap, right? But if you see a piece that you absolutely love, that is your launch point. And then it's a matter, okay, where do I put it? For some people, they buy a lot of art and then they just go find a spot for it, right? But it's sometimes, if it's not going to work, then it's not going to work, even if you love it. Right?
Yeah, and the one thing, if you guys want to take a look at some of Brenda Banda Johnson's fine art, you go to
www.bandajohnsonart.com.
Yeah, and what I learned the hard way, if
but you couldn't find me, was I hard to locate?
No, you know what it was? It was just that original art's great, but once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of your pieces that you kind of show on your website, some of them are gone.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, look what I've done, look what you can't have. So how quick does somebody have to jump onto your paintings, I guess, right?
You know what? It just depends on the piece, right? Because some will sell. I sold one on the weekend that I was working in here, working at the gallery, and I was painting, and I sold it while I was painting and it wasn't done yet. So that kind of thing can happen, or it'll sell within a week, or some take longer than that. It just depends. It comes down to the right buyer coming along, the person that has the right spot for it. They connect with what's in the painting and fall in love with it and have a spot to put it. So there's a lot of different factors.
And I know there's a lot of novice painters out there, or creators.
Yeah.
Let's throw this out, because we're going to have another session. We're going to highlight some other stuff that you have.
Yeah.
So I guess the moral of the story is, get on the website, buy this, or come to the gallery, because when they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
Like, they go pretty quick. And but what would you tell somebody that, I mean, you were not a professional artist, professional meaning people buying your stuff.
Right.
And you transition, because a lot of our viewers are also entrepreneurs, and it's like, this is like, I don't know if you want to share what you used to do for a living before.
Yeah.
Let's start your first kind of job out of school.
Oh, my first job out of
nobody's
school.
Gonna believe it.
Oh my, okay. I worked at Pricewaterhouse. I was an accountant.
And they taught you how to paint.
Yes.
Paint the numbers.
There was no creativity.
There was two columns of the ledger, and you create whatever you want. It's called creative accounting.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that.
Sure you did. Anyways.
So I used to be an accountant. That was where I started. And then I didn't love being an accountant, and I went into recruitment, placing accountants, which is a very sales-focused role. And then moving into art was something completely creative, but I had the business background and the sales background going into this, which has certainly helped in my career and in starting up something like the gallery.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The reason why I bring it up is because you're kind of a bit of a painting hero of mine. I'm just like, wow, that's Brenda. And for sure, with your business acumen, your business background, very few people have that. Starting a business. Some people are painters and they kind of dabble in the business and they kind of get frustrated, but you were able to just jump in because you knew all the boundaries.
Right, and I knew what made sense to me from a business perspective, to what to do or not do, or what do I spend my time on, or not bother, or that kind of thing, yeah.
All right, so we're going to be back and we're going to talk about, I guess, the process of getting the right art piece into your room.
Okay.
Are you up to that?
I am up for that.
All right, again, www.
BandaJohnsonArt.com.
All right, click down here and get 14 free paintings. No, I'm just joking. I was going to give out 14 of your paintings. That wouldn't have worked out. But anyways, make sure you click on that and we'll see you next time. Thanks, Brenda.
Thanks, Bruno.
Hey, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Remember, if you want someone you know to be our next guest, simple. Click below in the description and we'll get in touch with them. Thank you for watching and please subscribe and you'll never, ever miss another episode.